So once you log in Accelerlist and after you set up your MWS credentials and all that jazz, what you're going to want to do is click on Create Batch. Side note: this is really cool. Every week, this is updated and it shows you your ASP, how many books you listed, what your sell-through rate is, how many books you have in inventory. So it really allows you to keep track of what's going on with your business. So before you click on Create Batch, we want to make sure we have condition notes. So right here, I'm going to add a condition note. Oh, wrong one. I'm going to grab it, steal one from this guy. Okay. So this is a pretty generic condition note, and you want to make your condition note generic or just not use one because you want it to be applicable for good books, acceptable books, and even new books. You want it all to be the same. You don't want to have to go in there and change everything, at least with this method. Okay. This method's all about getting stuff in and getting it out. So go ahead and make a name. Oh, subcategory. There we go. And you're also going to want to go into settings. Go ahead and set your address and click on here and it'll walk you through it. You're also going to want to click on SKU settings. And the most important thing when making your SKU is that the integer count is the very first part of the SKU. So you can click here and you can build them. After that, I like to have supplier, listing date, and list price. That way I can see, if the book sold for $70, but I listed it for 53, that means my repricer is pretty damn good. Okay. So that's just, these are the things I care about. You can also pick any of these up here. Okay, so next you're going to click on Create Batch. You're going to have your virtual assistant just copy all these, paste them in here. Custom condition or custom template SKU, yes. Shipping from, just pick the address. You want Amazon to label your products in this case with this technique. I have another technique I use where I'll have my listers label, because if for every 100 books my listers label, I save $20 because that's $20 I'm not paying Amazon. Workflow type is going to be private. Live gets messy. Private just waits to submit everything to Amazon after it's all in the batch. Live does it immediately, so it'll tell you exactly what warehouse it's going to. But what happens is it ends up sending them to like 15 different warehouses. So for now, or actually forever, don't ever do live. If I ever find out you're doing live, you're in trouble. Okay, click on Create Batch. Supplier, just click here, type in Chicago, enter, and since date purchase is part of my SKU, I'm going to go ahead and fill that out too. So whatever you have as part of your SKU, you want in this right-hand column. So now we're going to go to Notes. I'm going to click on Tutorial, and it'll auto-fill that in for every book we list. Workflow, we want to click on Match Buy Box. The reason why I do Match Buy Box is even if you're going to manually price them later, matching buy box allows you to see, okay, we listed 20 books, and it'll give you an accurate number for net profit. Even if you're going to go back and change these prices, it'll just give you ballparky what kind of profit you're dealing with. But most of the time, I just leave it at buy box. I'm trying to move inventory relatively fast. Sometimes if I have the luxury of a little bit more time, I'll have my virtual assistant price. So I'll click on this one. I'll set my own price. And then since I'm not pricing up front, I don't care. You want to enter a price here. So 300 or 500 or something. And you want the reason why you want this is sometimes Accelerlist isn't going to have access to the buy box, and when that happens, you want it to bump up. And actually, let me take that back. As far as matching buy box goes, I do recommend you go back and you double check everything. I actually have my virtual assistant. I turn my pricing options on. Grading options, I don't want that on because we set the condition right here. So under notes, we'll select good. I almost list all my books as good. So grading options, you don't want to, like there's no reason to see it once you enter the book in because you've already pre-selected it. Okay, so what I have my VA look for when I list this book is she's looking to see if, why is it pricing at 30? Did I not change condition? Let's try that again. Huh. Oh, because used buy box is 30. Duh. Okay, yeah, that's good. So you can see these low use price, $13.81. It's gonna automatically match buy box. The thing I want my VA to looking out for is if this used price right here matches the buy box. I want her to price it manually because that means that there's no FBA competition. So if there's no FBA competition, I want her to go in and set a price because I don't want to lowball my book for no reason. So batch, rinse and repeat. And so what you can do on this Google Keep file is you can go in here and you can hit, let's say you want to grade very good. I don't recommend doing that. I like to speed things up. So everything's either good, acceptable, or new. So I'll just put change condition there. Maybe you go from one store to another and your box isn't full yet. What you can do is click, you can give instructions to yourself or your VA to change address to, or not change address, change source to Goodwill, Salvation Army. You can put these little instructions, and that's how you're going to know what to do on Accelerlist. When you're done with that, you'll click on preview shipment plans. In this case, we can't get any splits. And what I'll do now is I'll accept shipment if there's no splits. But if there's multiple, like let's say we had 20 books and 5 are going somewhere else, what I'll do is if you want to save money, you can go back through the box and pull them out. But like I said, I'm all about speed. I have a high floor profit, so I know I'm going to make good money off the books that I filled up in that box. So what I'll do is I'll actually turn inventory placement on. So if you go to fulfillment settings in Amazon, you can bookmark this page. So I have this bookmarked. I don't want to open it up because it's going to show my store name. But then I'll just click on from distributed inventory placement to inventory placement. And I'll turn that on. And then I'll click back and I'll preview shipments again. And 99% of the time, there's no splits. Keep in mind, you're paying 40 to 50 cents per book, which can get pretty expensive. So this is why this technique is, I like to use this technique when I'm on the road. And then when I'm back home, I use a variation of this technique that requires a little bit more work, but it saves money. So now what you're going to do is go into Seller Central, go to Manage FBA Shipments. You should be able to find the shipment right here. There it is, Chicago. Click Work on Shipment. Okay. Scroll down. I like to use FedEx. FedEx is a little bit cheaper. Now in this case, we're going to do everything in one box. So once a box gets full in this batch, like once you fill up a box, that batch is done. Click complete batch. So back here, I keep a bathroom scale in my car, so I'll weigh the box. Say it's 49 pounds. You can't go over 50 pounds, or they'll charge you 25 bucks. Click calculate. I agree. Print box labels. Now it's going to print a PDF, and you can actually send this to FedEx or Staples or wherever you're going, and they'll print it off for you. Or if you have a Dymo printer or another printer in your car, you can also print that off as well. Yeah, that's about it.